While Donald Trump claims he wants Senate GOP to pass a stimulus bill that offers more funding than Democrats in the House, the truth is he is trying to defund cities that he dislikes and basically take away government grants that have helped them keep people safe during the COVID pandemic. So the White House is considering slashing millions of dollars for coronavirus relief, HIV treatment, screenings for newborns, and other programs in Democratic-led cities that President Donald Trump has deemed anarchist jurisdictions. So the cities that made his list include, of course, Portland, Washington, D.C., and also Seattle. So New York, Portland, Oregon, Washington, D.C., and Seattle could lose funding for a wide swath of programs that serve their poorest, sickest residents after the president moved last month to restrict funding, escalating his political battle against liberal cities he sought to use as a campaign foil. So you may have remembered this, but back in September 2nd, he issued an order that called on federal agencies to curtail funding to jurisdictions that disempower police departments and promote lawlessness. And so HHS at that point put together a list of federal grants that could be considered for budget cuts. And unfortunately, the list includes 185 programs that touch on everything from Trump's own initiative to end HIV transmission by the end of the decade to the opioid crisis and research into lung diseases. So it's not just about COVID, it's about any type of government program, any type of government grant that helps these cities deal with public health issues. And it's just exactly what you can expect from someone like Donald Trump. Just retaliation against cities that, of course, don't support his policies, don't appreciate his lack of leadership and his incompetence.
Yeah, and at least in this case, as in many others, he's very honest. Like he talks about blue states, blue cities, blue people as not being worthy of his consideration, their death counts not being worthy of being counted and all of that. He's been very clear about that. And this is another area where his personality becomes policy, And that's why whenever we sound the alarm about things that he's saying, crazy, insane things that he's saying and tweeting, for a long time, I think it's mostly done, but for a long time, people would respond by saying, why are you focusing on that? Why are you getting so worked up? Why are you getting hysterical? Well, it's because the things that he say become policy. If he's talking about cutting like the funding to do testing, then it ends up happening. We find out about that. When he talks about blue states and blue cities as places that he doesn't care about, that might influence the actual funding, and not just for the pandemic, although clearly that's gonna be a big part of it, but going forward, like the guy who hates these cities so much now while he's still ostensibly trying to get reelected, what is his approach to those cities 2 months after he gets reelected, I should say. It can be rough times if you're in certain states and certain cities if he gets a second term.
Yeah, and just to give you one other recent example, although he did later change his mind on this, California's been dealing with devastating wildfires. Every year it gets worse because of climate change. And so Gavin Newsom asked the federal government for some help, because obviously the state needs help and funding to help battle these fires, especially in the age of COVID, where states have been grappling with an increase in unemployment claims and all of that. And at first, the Trump administration was like, no. He later reversed his decision, luckily, but the way Donald Trump operates is very much punitive, based on the voters in that location or the local politicians and how they treat him or respond to his policies. And that's not the way a president is supposed to lead the country. He politicizes literally everything he can politicize, and he retaliates against municipalities and states that he deems unfriendly to his administration. It's what you can expect from Donald Trump.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.